Welcome to Hollywood Actions. In this video we are going to dive deep into the untold stories of Hollywood's golden age, uncovering the moments when some of the era's biggest stars insisted on keeping certain on-screen scenes as real as possible. From passionate kisses to emotionally charged embraces, these actors believed authenticity was the key to unforgettable performances, even if it meant blurring the line between acting and reality. Now let's dive in. 1. Clark Gable. Clark Gable, the king of Hollywood. He was the face of a certain masculine screen ideal the studios sold to millions. Born in 1901 in Cadiz, Ohio, Gable's early years were rough and restless. He drifted into acting after a mix of odd jobs and a stint in stock theater, eventually landing at MGM and becoming one of the studio's biggest stars. Gable's charm and ruggedness made him the leading man of the 1930s and 40s. Key films include It Happened One Night 1934, Mutiny on the Bounty 1935, and of course Gone with the Wind 1939. He was a consummate professional, but also a man used to getting his way, both on and off set. 2. Errol Flynn. Errol Flynn burst into Hollywood as the quintessential swashbuckler. Born in Tasmania in 1909, Flynn arrived in Hollywood with a roguish smile and athletic bravado. He rose to fame in the 1930s with films like Captain Blood, 1935, and The Adventures of Robin Hood, 1938. Flynn's physicality, sword fights, horseback stunts, and gallant romances made him an icon. Off-camera, his legend was twofold: charming leading man to the public and a figure of notorious indulgence in private life. Flynn's authenticity was often physical. 3. Bert Lancaster. Bert Lancaster came from a very different background. Born in 1913 in New York City, a former circus acrobat turned actor. His athleticism, physical control, and intense screen presence defined a career that spanned decades. Breakthroughs like The Killers 1946, From Here to Eternity 1953, and Elmer Gantry 1960 showcased Lancaster's range, vulnerability, force, moral complexity. He was known for doing many of his own stunts and for demanding credible performances from those he shared scenes with. Lancaster's pursuit of realism came from craft rather than ego. 4. Laurence Olivier. Laurence Olivier was the British theatrical titan who became an international film star. Born in 1907, Olivier's foundation was stage training and classical technique. He brought a rigorous discipline to every role. Olivier's film work included Wuthering Heights 1939, Rebecca 1940, and later award-winning performances like Hamlet 1948. He combined meticulous craft with an insistence on emotional truth. Olivier's idea of authenticity was often rooted in the psychology of performance. For him, a scene's truthfulness sometimes required actors to inhabit the emotions fully. 5. Robert Mitchum. Robert Mitchum embodied cool, laconic menace. Born in 1917, he projected a naturalistic style that felt unforced and immediate. Mitchum made a mark in film noir classics such as Out of the Past 1947, and later in films like The Night of the Hunter 1955. His style was anti-glamour, a lived-in realism that resonated with post-war audiences. Mitchum's approach to intimacy and physical scenes was minimalistic but authentic. He preferred to avoid obvious stylization. Stories from co-workers suggest Mitchum wanted scenes to feel unscripted. 6. John Garfield. John Garfield was one of the early American actors influenced by the method. Born in 1913 in New York City, he rose out of gritty urban beginnings into dramatic prominence. Garfield's performances in The Postman Always Rings Twice 1946 and Body and Soul 1947 showed raw emotional truth and a kind of youthful, brooding intensity. Garfield's rapport with actors and directors was built on emotional honesty. Method techniques encourage actors to draw on real feelings, and in romantic scenes, that could require deeply private emotional work. 7. Anthony Quinn. Anthony Quinn had a huge, exuberant presence on screen. Born in 1915 in Mexico, he brought passion and physicality to many roles. Quinn won Oscars for Viva Zapata, 1952, and Lust for Life, 1956, and was noted for performances that were forceful and elemental. Quinn's approach was visceral. He believed in feeling his way through scenes. And many who worked with him described an actor who preferred authenticity, including in love scenes, to artifice. 8. Kirk Douglas. Kirk Douglas, born in 1916, was the epitome of the determined, driven actor. He rose through stage work and B-pictures to become a major star with a muscular, energetic screen presence. Douglas delivered memorable performances in Champion 1949, Spartacus 1960, and many more, often playing men of will and force. Douglas wanted his performances, including intimate ones, to feel convincing. Directors and co-stars described a man who would push for the emotional. 9. Montgomery Clift. Montgomery Clift was known for an emotionally naked screen presence. Born in 1920, his performances often felt living and immediate, shaped by method training and a sensitivity uncommon among male stars of the time. Clift's work in A Place in the Sunday, 1951, From Here to Eternity, 1953, and The Misfits, 1961, revealed a humane intensity and openness that influenced future generations. Clift's pursuit of authenticity was often internal and psychological. 10. James Dean. James Dean's mythic status rests on a short but incandescent career. Born in 1931 and dying tragically in 1955, Dean's on-screen intensity made him an emblem of youthful rebellion. East of Eden 1955, and Rebel Without a Cause 1955, established him as a touchstone of raw emotional immediacy. Dean prized spontaneity and emotional truth. He leaned into moments that felt uncontrolled to achieve realism. Dean's approach became a model for youth and honesty on screen.